The day before just received the new trailer alongside the confirmation that the game is now coming out December 7th this year. Formerly, it was announced to be coming out March 2023 and then November, and now it's just a month later. Anyway, Day Before here is one of the critically acclaimed open-world survival third-person shooters. It's a multiplayer game in nature, one of the few AAA games that's being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5 with this formula. On top of that, if you do want to have a taste of the action yourself, the game is available on a beta as well.
Woodbury will always be open to you.
But first, you will create your unique character. Select a personality, choose a gender, and customize every detail. Immersing yourself in our vision of post-apocalyptic America. Woodbury survivors are working to rebuild the community, constantly needing supplies, building materials, and various items. Your main task is to bring as much valuable loot as possible, and in return, you'll be rewarded with the local currency known as Woodbury coins.
Who the hell needs your junk?
Keep track of your health, hunger, and thirst indicators. And remember, dangers are everywhere here, ranging from the vicious infected to other players who are ready to take everything from you. We've designed survival in this world to be a thrilling experience. The weapons, which can be modified, are made with maximum realism to ensure that combat remains deep and engaging at all times. Each weapon boasts unique characteristics, as well as realistic reload and recoil mechanics. Completing various community tasks also presents an opportunity to earn Woodbury coins.
Well, who do I see here? How's it going, my friends?
Woodbury coins can be exchanged for ammo, from regular to armor-piercing, weapons, protective equipment, backpacks, food, drinks, and medicines. Spa access to relax, and a gym to work out. Safeguard your accumulated items by storing them in secure storage. Exchange Woodbury coins for cars to swiftly collect loot and access distant, hard-to-reach locations. You will receive your own ranch, where you can purchase and upgrade houses, as well as install furniture and decorations. The ranch serves as your cozy, safe oasis amidst the post-apocalyptic chaos. Welcome to the next generation of post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival games like never before. Immerse yourself in the day before.
The Day Before, early access December 7th.
Sitting on Steam through early access at number 2, we've got here, I mentioned the game before, Ark Survival Ascended. This is a reimagined version of the Ark game made from the ground up with the use of Unreal Engine 5 too, to feel just like a next generation exclusive port. This is in-game footage indeed. You can play this one for the price of $40. Do not, specifically if you don't have the Epic Games Store in your country. It requires that and works awfully slow. Just wait a couple more months, developers promise some graphical improvements to make it run smooth on most platforms. from the same team who brought Dave the Diver. That's one of the most amazing games released recently. At number 3, we have a game called Nakwon. Nakwon is a third-person view zombie apocalypse stealth survival game in which you experience a new form of post-apocalyptic life. I mean, that's what the folks are selling here basically. It's a survival resource management PvP versus environment where zombies and survivors coexist. Like The Walking Dead show, this trailer, the game's coming to PCs only.
Classified projects at the biolab involved rats and spiders for something the professor called the ultimate coronavirus vector.
Sitting on Steam with a demo, Vorax here is a open-world survival horror game set on this island in the eastern Mediterranean Sea where a military biolaboratory is located, and because it exists, there are now all kinds of mutants and monsters all over the place. And your job is to uncover this terrible secret behind this scheme and just put an end to it. Vorax is here coming to PCs only. It's actually built with the use of Unreal Engine 5 and set to be coming out early next year.
Day or night. I told Dad and his handlers in DC not to play God. So, watch your back 24/7. Especially in open fields. These fuckers swarm like they're auditioning for a horror game. You know, those games where you're ambushed by hordes of monsters and freaks? Yeah, well, that's our reality now. Welcome to the nightmare.
Sitting on Steam through an early access phase, due out fully for PCs exclusively as well, early next year. Number 5, we have The Front. See, Frontier's a first-person survival sandbox, craft and base building game in nature, and also set in some post-apocalyptic version of our world, populated with zombie-like mutants and some new factions, or race I've never seen before. Anyway, it's a multiplayer game in nature where you fight in like a tower defense style. Check it out in case you missed it. At number 6, we've got here what was formerly named Outlet Z. You'll probably remember this one from over 3 years ago as a island survival first-person thriller of a game, which was supposed to be coming out last year, whereas I actually translated this game myself back with the name Out Wild, because I used the Google Translate to know what it means, but it's got an English title now. It's now Wild Side. It's set to be coming to all consoles now, and it's to PC sometime next year. Number 7. Work of a single-hand developer from earlier this year, we have another open-world survival game in the style of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, going by the name, wrote the Vostok. This is a game that's aiming to deliver the best hardcore survival game on the platform, where the progression is tied more towards the game world and there are permadeath and consequences like that, like Daisy. Anyway, here's the trailer. It's a PC exclusive. We know it's been in development for over 2 years. Announced almost a month ago, coming from the same developers of Amnesia. At number 8 we have another Unreal Engine 5 project here going by the name Still Wakes the Deep, what the creators are calling a return to the classic horror narrative games, revolving around the incidents of the life of an oil rig worker in the middle of the sea, fighting for his life, whilst there is no connection to the outside world. Here's a trailer. The game's a PC to next gen exclusive and coming out early next year.
I got hit in the head, and when I woke up, I was in almost nothing but my birthday suit.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl will release around March next year. Finally, a company that we got more in-game footage. The game, as always it's been the case, is coming to PCs and Xbox Series X as the promised platforms, and if you're just new to it somehow, it's a survival horror open world shooter and one of the longest delayed games ever. Check it out in case you missed it.
Here's your bolt.
Where the hell would I need a bolt?
Take a look around.
Crap.
Door! Open the door!
Rotor Laboratory, on behalf of the government, assures that none of the bacteriological attacks will harm citizens' health. I quote, "There are no risks of any kind. You are safe in your house."
At number 10, we've got over here a game called Rooted. I think I mentioned this one before. It's a survival, almost cloned off of The Last of Us action game using Unreal Engine 5 and set in a post-apocalyptic time near the year 2100, where you're one of the few survivors left progress and adapt through the new world and just make it all possible. Rooted is still in its very early stages of development, and it's said to be coming out in about a year from now on PCs only.
It is crucial to have your ID card with you at all times in case of control. For safety reasons, the Army has deployed autonomous civilian security robots. They are here.
Coming up behind that, we've got another indie here going by the name Nobody's Left. It's a third-person action survival, a little bit in the same vein as the Plague games, or even Division. I mean, all we know is that it's coming over to PCs with a Steam page, still in the works, possibly other consoles as well. Nobody's Left was announced last year, and we're still trying to figure out where these developers even came from or how far they are into development. You probably know this already, but there's an update. First off, John Carpenter's the same legend who directed the Thing movie, does another horror games and IPs and video games, is developing and directing a first-person shooter zombie survival game called Toxic Commando. This game is back with a huge team, like Focus on Interactive, Saber Interactive, and a bunch of others, and supposedly the first of a series of games.
Restless. Ambition requires men to feed upon.
On Frostpunk 2, you see 11-bit Studios came out early in the year with the update that the game is now in pretty good shape. It remains a PC exclusive, however, and it is, for those of you who know, the sequel to the city building survival strategy game that started life like 5 years ago. The sequel over here has been in development for over 2 years, said to be coming out, technically rumored though, by the end of the year. If not, early next year.
Who fulfills his calling? There are thousands left with nothing. It's them who knock and open the door to hell.
Aloha, and welcome back to Fractured Veil.
Revealed earlier in the month after 2 years of absence, and finally, we've got here once again Fractured Veil, one of the games I have totally forgot about, a multiplayer survival game that's been in development hell for more than 4 years. This game is now coming out next year, possibly early, March, and into PCs only. Fractured Veil is, in premise, set 100 years into the future, with the premise of having up to 500 players in the same match. This is how the game looks, just make sure to stay tuned for a precise release date. I mentioned this one before more than a handful of times already in case you didn't get caught up with the update. At the Annapurna Interactive Showcase recently, we finally gotten a look at Lost Wild's official gameplay. It's a dinosaur survival horror first-person shooter, which was initially just the work of a small team and now into a full plan by Annapurna itself. It's using Unreal Engine 5, it's a solo and co-op multiplayer game in nature.
players are invited to explore the world of Dune. They involve themselves in politics, they involve themselves in intrigue, they involve themselves in combat, they have to...
Dune Awakening, however, does not currently have a confirmed release date, but we know it's coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. My guess is it's not coming out fully, but in early access, April next year, or if so, no sooner than mid-year. Dune Awakening is a survival MMO, story-heavy single-player that allows you to explore the landscapes and the wildlife based on the movies and the places that it has been shown, Arrakis, and now even new factions. Here's a trailer in case you missed it.
My name is Viljar Sommerbach. I'm the game director on Dune Awakening. You start out in the desert, surviving, clinging to life, and in the end, you might become someone like the Baron Harkonnen, and then you try to cling to power. Arrakis is the most dangerous planet in the universe. Surviving on Arrakis means that you need to prepare for sandstorms, you need to find water, it's a constant threat against survival. Water discipline is an important part of survival. In the beginning, it might just be water for yourself. In the end, you might need industrial levels of water because you have industrialized your base.
Available to wishlist now finally, we just got a new trailer on it too. Last but not least, we have Derelicts. This is another post-apocalyptic co-op survival horror sim set years after an advanced alien mechanism or something that's landed on Earth and has flooded it. And now you and a bunch of other as a rescue team are tasked with investigating it and put an end to it by building, crafting, exploring, and use whatever come in handy to just survive. This game is coming to PCs only sometime soon.
Каждый перегон я изнываю от страха. Работа караванщика нелегка. Так что если не успеваешь, то перекидывай. Помогите мне отойти.
It is extraordinary that you survived the attack of the tide. It would have turned anyone in your place into a fallen or a pile of ashes. But as you see, that didn't happen to you. You are safe and sound.
So, rookie, how are you feeling? Are you ready to prove yourself worthy? I only need those in high spirits, you know what I mean? Bright-eyed specialist in anything and everything. I'm sick and tired of whining old bastards. The role of an emissary is just a cover. What I really need is an agent. Research, observe, kill, interrogate, strike deals, make arrangements. That's your part in our difficult task.
For some unknown reasons you may possess abilities similar to ours, and we'd like to check it.